Hi, I'm Cody Henriksen again, and today we're going to be looking at how we can enhance a class by working with the toString method. So let's go ahead and take a look at the debug class we've been working with. Again, we're keeping on the idea of class design and how we can make it so our classes are more functional and work better overall. So we've already added our overloaded constructors, we've added our getters and our setters so we can look at and access the internal state as well as modify that internal state. And right now, if I simply go and do a print, I have to either print everything one line at a time, like I have right here with get name, or if I call simply the object itself and try and print it, we're going to get the @ gobbledygook that we don't really want to see. So let's hit play and let's see what happens right here. As you can see right here with the default, without writing a toString, I have a design.model.debugduck at 42. Yeah, that's not what we want to see. We want to actually describe something with that. So instead of having this @ gobbledygook in there, the way we resolve that, right here when printing the actual instance of the object, we use it so we make a toString method that exists inside our model-based classes, so it's something that can actually describe the object, and so we add it right here inside debugduck. So I'm going to put it in here in my debugduck. I'm going to put it below the setters. It's a special method. It's one that all objects actually have access to, the default toString. Every object has it. However, if we just use the default toString that exists in there, it's not going to be very helpful. It just gives us the package and class name and the hash code. We can do better. What we're going to do instead is we're going to write our own custom one. Now, my rule for class is you have to have at least 3 of your data members inside that custom toString method. If you don't have 3 data members that belong to the object, you have to actually describe it really well and give it a little bit up for it. And so that's what we're going to be doing to make this happen. So to do so, we're going to do the @override annotation. And that's just a little note explicitly for the compiler, for us as a programmer, and for anyone who's looking at our code, that we know that we're overriding the base class or parent class's method, because we want to make sure that we're doing something special for this. So it's a nice little note to ourselves. And the next thing is going to be public, has to be public, and then it's going to be a string type return, and it's called toString. It has to be named toString for this to work properly. Open and close parens because there are no parameters, and I have my red line of doom right here because I'm not doing anything yet. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's maximize my font a bit as well. And so my public string toString, so the first thing we do, because it's a string type method and I'm building an answer for this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give a string variable. I'm going to call it description because that's what we're making, and then return that description to it there. So it's a string, not strong, a string description, and assign it nothing to start, just to get it so it'll compile. And my last line is return description. So we have our compilable file right here with return description, and so it does nothing. So if I actually run my program right now, it'll be even less helpful. Let's watch it. Debugduck, nothing. Oh yeah, no, we don't want to have that. So we want to give a better description. So and with the description, what we do is we want to actually describe the object itself, and we want to especially talk about how the state itself is set up. So we've got our lovely data members that describe our object right here. So I have to use at least 3 of those inside this to actually describe it. And so I just make my description, and I'm going to go right here. Hi, I am a debugduck, and my name is, and then we'll do plus and name. So do a little bit of string concatenation right here so we can just get the string's name right there in it. And then we're going to again use the idea of building at least 3 of our data members in it. So I've got one with name, and so I'm going to say description, and then plus equals. So I'm going to reassign, to use the concatenation and reassign into it. And inside here I'm going to do a \n, so it would make a new line. So hey, I've got a new line of information, just to use that right there. And then again, another concatenation. So I've gone through and I've built together a lovely description of my debugduck object. So again, I'm using at least 3 of my data members so I can actually talk about it right here. I just give a quick description, and so I use the name description because that's what my toString method provides for me. And so, hi, I'm a debugger. My name is name. And again, make sure you use the spaces right here between the end of your string and any variables, because you want to make sure it actually makes sense and it's readable. And then my color is, and then color. And then I have answered blank questions. And notice you can have a space right here because concatenation doesn't give you spaces when you put it together. So let's save this and rerun this one more time. Hi, I'm a debugduck, and my name is superduck. My color is magenta, and I've answered 0 questions. Okay, since I have that space right there, I better fix that. And there we go. And so because this is the first time I'm using that duck, I've now answered questions, and so now I can access this. Now again, taking a quick look at the controller right here really fast. So I'm using this right here. I simply just print out the temp right here. So when I print out that variable right there of simply just printing out an instance of an object, it implicitly calls the toString method. And so this is the only method you can implicitly call in Java. If I wanted to explicitly call that, I would simply just do hemp.toString, and so I can actually get that description of the object right there by using this as well to do the same results right here. So I'll hit save and play. Demo this again really fast, and then hey, I'm a super debug duck. My name is Super Duck. My color is magenta, and I've answered 0 questions. So again, we can use that to provide a lot more information about an object. The toString method is a really effective way to add a more description for it, especially if you're looking for doing some output on the console, or even if you're doing Go, if you want to get some information for debug purposes to see the internal state of objects. The toString method is a great way to get a lot of information at once. So that's a quick way you can add and update your class, do some better design, and have a better structure of your custom classes. Thanks again. Have a good day. Cheers.